The name's Skillet. Douglas R. Skillet. Detective, Private Eye, Gumshoe. And this is my caseload. My beat? A small town tucked away between mountains and ocean as a child is at night. Snug, safe. Some call this place a dump. I call it home. And I have all my life. My office is a closet above a corner store. Desk, window, phone, and cheap rent. The kind of space where you can stand in one spot and touch all four walls. A gumshoe doesn't need much else, except for a good bottle of scotch in a drawer and a .45 holstered close. It was a Thursday. It felt like a Friday, but the calendar told me otherwise. The sun was hot, sticky. Your shirt stuck to you like you'd rubbed cotton candy all over your skin. The clock on the wall read 11:43 a.m. The afternoon breeze that blows in off of the water wouldn't be starting for another hour. I wrung out my tie and opened up my window anyway. I liked the sound of activity. The job hadn't come my way all week. Crime was slow. Until she walked in. The door to my office opened. I dismantled my desk so she could come in. IKEA is user-friendly. So was she. She was tall. Then again, I'm short. Her legs went on forever. Her knees were where her ears should have been. Her head of blonde locks was as wavy as the sound during an April storm. She had the face of a model, painted and glittery. Lips so red and juicy you'd swear they had pits. She had on a black dress, the kind you have to take off to turn around in. Not that I know. I did know if she dropped something on the floor, I'd be the one picking it up. Her seams creaked every time she breathed. She said her name was
Florence Chamomile.
She talked with one of those exotic accents you hear on commercials for French wine or Italian cheese. She had glass. No, glass. Her left eye just sat in its socket, while the other one followed me everywhere. Not that there was far to go. I asked her what happened to her eye.
I lost it during a fight in Istanbul. A jealous lover. He took it as a souvenir.
Strange gift. You should have taken one of her legs. She wouldn't have missed it as much.
I need your help.
I wasn't sure. Lunch was in 5 minutes and my stomach was sounding like a new vinyl chair.
I'll pay you $5,000 now and another $5,000 when you're finished.
Thank heavens for meals in a can. We talked. She had as much bubble as used Alka-Seltzer. Why do you need my talents? I asked her.
I need you to find my husband's killer.
Why? Did he drop something?
He didn't finish. My husband is in critical but stable condition at the hospital. I want him dead.
To tell her I didn't understand didn't make sense. She scratched her leg. I thought she'd put up her hand to ask a question. I was wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. I had a sense there was more to this than what met the eye. No pun intended. I took the job.
You won't regret this.
Or at least took the cash. I gotta tell you, my curiosity was sure sparked. I love being a gumshoe. She told me all about how she'd arranged the accidental death of her husband, a man 30 years her senior. He was to be crushed by an elephant at the petting zoo. It seems he had a soft spot for animals and went there daily. Turns out her hired assassin didn't know what an elephant was. She had simply told him big ears and a trunk. The killer ran her husband down in the parking lot, driving a Buick with trailer mirrors. She wanted me to hunt the assassin down and give him redirections to the hospital where her husband was staying, so he could finish the job. I asked her, "Why do you want him dead?" A tear fell from her good eye. I handed her my handkerchief. then remembered how long it had been since I last washed it. Too late. The tear was gone and something else had stuck to her face.
Here's the address of where I made contact with the killer.
She handed me a business card. Grand Tanny's Knitting Supplies.
It's on the back.
I knew that. I flipped the card over. Bucket of Bones Butcher's Emporium. I'd been there. Every good detective had. She thanked me and said she'd keep in touch. She walked backwards, out the door. I guess she didn't want to undress in front of a stranger. It took me an hour and a half to put my desk back together, an hour just to find the stupid little Allen wrench. I'd like to meet Allen and callous my knuckles on his face. Bucket of Bones Butcher's Emporium. I should have known. You ever notice how every town or city has a section that's dirtier and darker than everywhere else? Well, this town is no different, and Bucket of Bones is where it breathes. I took an extra long swig of scotch before I left the office, just in case I didn't make it back. I tightened my holster and grabbed a handful of really big bullets. As I shut the door, the cool afternoon wind chilled my face. Yeah, it was Thursday.